I'm Teisha with Shalom TV's news update for Monday, April the 1st, 2013. In a public opinion poll published today, the Jerusalem Post reports that Palestinians would prefer jailed Fatah leader Marwan Barghouti as the next Palestinian Authority president over either current PA President Mahmoud Abbas or Hamas Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh. The poll was conducted by the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research, which covered 1,270 Palestinians with a margin of error of 3%. According to its findings, if new presidential elections were held today between only Abbas and Haniyeh, then Abbas would receive more than half of the votes, indicating a decline in the popularity of Hamas in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The poll showed, however, that Fatah leader Barghouti, who is currently serving 5 life terms in prison for his role in anti-Israel terror activities, would defeat both candidates if he were in the running. The poll also found that 55% of Palestinians support a two-state solution, 44% oppose, while at the same time nearly 60% of Palestinians said they believe that Israel's long-term goal is to expand its borders to include all territories between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, and to expel their Palestinian population. When asked what is the most serious problem facing Palestinian society today, the poll showed that the, quote, occupation and settlement activities rated third after poverty, unemployment, and the lack of national unity. And in efforts to renew national unity between the two rival Palestinian parties of Fatah and Hamas, officials are reportedly set to meet later this month with the help of Egypt, with the ultimate goal of holding new Palestinian parliamentary elections in the near future. Canada's largest student association has voted to endorse the global BDS, or Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions movement, a campaign that seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel. York University's community newspaper Excalibur reported on the York Federation of Students, or YFS, BDS campaign, which calls on the school to withdraw its investments from companies that do business with Israel, like Hewlett-Packard, Northrop Grumman, BAE Systems, and Lockheed Martin. Hillel at York and Hasbara at York condemned the endorsement and issued a statement through the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs. In the statement, Chaim Lax, who's president of Hasbara at York, says Hasbara is extremely disappointed that the YFS passed this BDS resolution, alleging the YFS is blacklisting and boycotting Israelis. Lax also alleges the YFS resolution is, quote, fundamentally racist and a possible violation of York's anti-discrimination codes. The Simon Wiesenthal Center recently released a new report on the BDS movement, calling the global campaign the tipping point of a war against Israel. In the report's preface, Wiesenthal Center Associate Dean Abraham Cooper says the BDS campaign presents itself as a pro-peace initiative, but in reality is a thinly veiled anti-Israel and anti-Semitic poison pill, whose goal is the demonization, delegitimization, and ultimate demise of the Jewish state. The Jewish Week reports that a 2,000-year-old synagogue in Damascus was looted and burned to the ground. The historic Jobar Synagogue in Syria's capital is said to be built on the site where the prophet Elijah anointed his successor Elisha as a prophet. Various reports yesterday said that Syrian President Assad and rebel forces are blaming each other for the incident, with Israel Radio reporting that the rebels said the Syrian government looted the synagogue before setting it on fire, and the Arabic Al-Manar television reported, citing the Arabic Syria Truth website, that the government said the rebels burned the synagogue and that so-called Zionist agents stole its historic religious items in an operation that had been planned for several weeks. The Jobar Synagogue is said to be one of the oldest in the world. Natural gas has begun to flow into Israel from its Tamar gas field, an offshore site in the Mediterranean Sea. The first flows of gas from the Tamar reservoir, which promises to help the Israeli economy and create some degree of energy independence, reached the port city of Ashdod on Sunday night after it was pumped to Israeli shores for the first time Saturday, 4 years after its discovery. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu commented on the beginning of gas flow this weekend during the Passover holiday. He said on the Festival of Freedom, we are taking an important step toward energy independence. We have advanced the natural gas sector in Israel over the last decade, he said, which will be good for the Israeli economy and for all Israelis. And finally today, the Times of Israel reports that a Jordanian singer who was set to perform alongside Israeli artists at a concert tonight in the city of Jaffa canceled his Israel visit apparently due to threats from pro-Palestinian groups in Jordan. 25-year-old Bazel Khouri wrote on his Twitter page that it was a shame that in these days, peacemakers are considered traitors and war criminals are considered heroes. The Jaffa concert, called Ma'an Together, will go on tonight as planned and will feature such performers as Arab-Israeli singer Miriam Tukan, the Shirana Arab-Jewish Choir, the Arab-Jewish Youth Choir Voices of Peace, and the multicultural Na'am Ensemble will be singing songs in both Hebrew and Arabic, as well as songs traditionally sung on the night of the Mimuna, a traditional Moroccan Jewish celebration at the end of the holiday of Passover. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Monday, April the 1st, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.